Hey there, Congresswoman Cammack here, proudly representing Florida's 3rd Congressional District, the Gator Nation. This week marks National Police Week, and as the wife of a firefighter and SWAT medic, I am humbled and honored to deliver the first Republican address of the year, not just to my colleagues here in Washington, but to Americans and LEOs and their families all across this incredible country of ours. As we celebrate and thank our law enforcement officers from all across the nation, my thoughts turn towards home. I think of the brave men and women in North Central Florida who uphold law and order every single day, despite a growing call for their defunding. These courageous men and women and the families that support them continue to be an inspiration to me and my family. They remind me and my colleagues that public service starts with a humble heart, perseveres with grit, and never backs down in the most challenging of times. There is no doubt that we find ourselves standing in the breach, holding the line between lawlessness and order. For me, I have been working to support our first responders and LEOs for over a decade, first marrying in to the first responder family, but then as an advocate, creating a nonprofit foundation that provides life-saving, critical equipment for our men and women in uniform. It is through this lens that I have seen firsthand the very best of our law enforcement community, but also their challenges. I've seen the persistent detective who pulls into the driveway, still working a case over in her mind, but walks through the front door as a mom, delivering the best energy and love that she can to her kids. I've seen the overworked sergeant who pulls another overtime shift to cover his fellow officer who is undergoing cancer treatment. And I've seen the deputy who drops off his kids' used clothes at homes in the toughest neighborhoods that he patrols. To our LEOs, we see behind the badge. We see you. Our brave men and women in uniform are far more than just the people who uphold law and order in our hometowns. They are moms, dads, husbands, wives, sons, daughters, who all perform a critical and often dangerous job to protect and serve all while hoping to return home at the end of every shift. As the wife who says goodbye to her first responder husband at the beginning of every shift with the fear of them not coming home, well, it's real. For the families and LEOs out there, I know that the conversations around the dinner table are not getting any easier or more comfortable. I know because I've had them. But please know that in the midst of these very painful and uncomfortable conversations, that there is a thin blue line army growing every single day, made up of Americans from all walks of life who stand in defense of our police and their families. Now, as lawmakers, it is our job to ensure that these brave crime fighters are supported with words, but also action. Now, while Democrats on Capitol Hill have consistently voted to defund the police, Republicans have continued to stand up as the party of law and order to support a well-funded, well-trained community of law enforcement officers. We will continue being one team, one mission, as a collective of loud voices and advocates for our first responders and law enforcement officers all across the country. And I welcome any members, regardless of party affiliation, to join us in this effort. To Leader McCarthy and my Republican colleagues, thank you for taking a stand with our LEOs. To my Democrat colleagues, please consider taking an educational ride-along. To our men and women in uniform and their families, thank you. Know that we have got your six. And for all those that we have lost along the way, rest easy. We've got the watch.